I mean, they are, but they're low. Okay, we're fine now.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Welcome
Hi.
once again. Dork Duck Daily, the show with all the news, you nerd, and all the other trimmings. We're still figuring out our schedule. We've not sat down in our post graduation relaxation rehabilitation. We've not figured out and hammered out what our new schedule is yet. So we're kind of just running through the motions this week.
Yeah.
And then
there's also just a bunch of things we didn't consider. Not consider, but we're supposed to do a co-stream later, which we might still do, but it
would have to be later because our kid has their last day of
driver's
training, which never usually falls on a Thursday, but because of holiday on Monday, they
moved
hang
it
around, and that's their entire life. Good morning, Sam. Sam says schedules are hard. It's okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Is that where the comic stands go?
I mean, they can go right there. I was just
I
trying
look
to
forward
get,
to
I was just trying
Wednesday
to get to
night
my iPad.
where I'm going to be like, where are the comic stands? You need the comic stands to sell comics. And they're going to be gone because you're going to be like, I think all these green bins should go downstairs or something. And
No,
then
I'm not.
it's going to be fun.
Oh, we're supposed to clean out our basement this week.
We are. We do have.
Where is my pen? Oh, no.
I don't know.
Oh, it's plugged in. Look at me being productive.
Yeah, we have a trash bin arriving to the house tomorrow.
Get into.
No,
because I am the trash.
No, you are not trash. We have a trash bin showing up tomorrow, which all these years later, I've only been, divorced basically for 7 years. But the last of my ex-wife's stuff that has been left behind and flooded and abandoned will find its way out of the house, and we'll finally have a clean basement.
Maybe we can actually put
a studio down there.
Yes.
That's the exciting prospect. So that's our weekend. It's going to be lots of hauling things up and throwing them in a big trash bin. And getting just basically Marie Kondoing her life and going through and so many things and going okay, well, this doesn't actually bring joy. Or why do we have this? Or why do we have 6 of these? Or what was the plan here? And a lot of it's just literally de-junking and decluttering your life is an important and good thing.
Keep telling my.
Dave says it sounds like a solid plan. Yeah, I used to do it about once a year, and then it's I haven't had the funds to do it because it's a couple $100 to bring a trash bin out. But it's actually, especially with kids, it is hugely helpful because the amount of just junk. And I'm a big proponent of donating stuff too, but you just end up with junk. So much junk. And it's things that you would feel bad to donate. It's one thing if you have perfectly good toys and clothes and everything else. I'm not advocating you throw that stuff out. But some stuff is just junk. Tim says I'm working once again on copying all of Shiki's stream notes into my stream note document. It's what I reference for stream number, game title, and part number and date. Should we be taking stream notes?
Maybe.
Apparently. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here. What is
Sam, I'm so obsessed with blueprints, and I'm gonna need you to play that game at some point. I'm gonna need you to add that to the many games that you'll have to play on my behalf at some point. Um, Sam says no. I edit them all and put the title card with that information in it. Oh, okay, fair enough. Um, I just played a little snippet this morning. Just a little taste, little hit. And now that's all I want to be doing is going. It's the
It was
first time I
so
played it
funny
since
because I was
Sunday.
sitting there on the couch and I was just like, "Why is Jeff turning on a game?" I was like, "What game are you turning on?" You're like, "Oh, just game."
So
Like,
good. Sam says I don't have blueprints money right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't, or I would just buy it for you in addition to my Game Pass. Be like, I like this game and I want to support more games like this existing. Um, because it's just you walk around in that game. It's just one of
you
those.
just walk around. That's it. That's all you do.
So like each, I talked about it a bit on Monday. If you don't know the premise of blueprints, each time you are a kid who has inherited billions, and the eccentric person who left it to you is basically like, you can inherit this if you find the 46th room of this mansion, right? And then every day you go into the mansion, and then every time you open a door, it gives you an option of 3 rooms. And those rooms might be dead ends, they might have branches off, right? So it's like you play each day till you either run out of steps or run out of movement that you can make because like you've been walled off. And a lot of the rooms do special things, like some of the rooms add steps to you, some of the rooms like contain like gems and keys, and gems help you unlock like special rooms, and it's just, that's the game. um and it's, some of the rooms are like puzzle rooms and almost like an escape room type style, and it's very just chill. And then, but it's one of those games you write down absolutely everything, and I mean absolutely everything. Because like the way you start to see how everything fits together, and you just go like, oh, it's so good. It's great. I don't know who it's for that's not named Jeff or Sam, but it is a very good game. It's the kind of thing that would drive Selena absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, I was watching you play it and I was like, probably.
Yeah. Sam said I'm gonna need a fresh board. Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely that sort of thing. It's a completely fresh notebook. Uh Sam, I cannot express the joy that I had in which I found a room several hours in that said that like, hey, by the way, everything you see written in this color is a lie. And then I realized I wasn't writing the colors down, and then I had to go back and like redo my notes to make sure I was writing the colors of the thing. I was like, ah, it was amazing. Um, Sam said, "Did Lena ever see my art?" Did you ever see Sam's board?
The conspiracy board?
Yeah.
Vaguely. You showed me for like 2 seconds and then you moved your phone and I couldn't read most of it.
No.
But
It was pretty great. Um, for Sam's playthrough of Strangers of Paradise. What's after Strangers of Paradise for you? Or the last one? Do I have that one in Discord? It's pretty good. Oh, I have our chat. Oh yeah, yep. There you go.
you zoom in.
I don't think you need to.
I want to. understand any of this, but I've like invested time.
Very great.
I thought that said Chaos Steve, Chaos Shrine. My eyes are bad. Oh my god.
Chaos Steve rules. I want it to be Chaos Steve.
No, it's Chaos Shrine.
Just Jack's mustache was the best part. Yes. Type 0 won the poll. Okay. I don't know that game at all. That's one of the few like that I have no context for, so that'll be interesting. What is Type 0? Okay. We don't just talk about conspiracy boards on this show.
We should make it a whole segment.
Today in conspiracy boards.
Sometimes I get like conspiracy theories on my TikTok for you page, and I'm just like, I think my TikTok thinks that I am my mother. My mom is really into conspiracy stuff. She watches a lot of it on YouTube.
I miss when conspiracy theories were fun.
Yeah, I get what. I don't know what you mean by that statement.
Well, like, so back in like the X-Files era, like the show X-Files was playing on a lot of like, and even the movie Independence Day was playing on a lot of like, oh yeah, kooky conspiracy theories are like so much fun, and like Area 51 and like all this like stuff. It was just like silly fun, and it wasn't it wasn't like you could be a functioning member of society and like have regular conversations with other people and not be like and still be like, yeah, like I do think that like the JFK thing was like a thing, you know, like it was like a weird like.
I think the like Bush did 9/11 or whatever thing, like
That was the start of it, not. Yeah. Like that was the loose change. Do you remember the loose change documentary? Probably not. You were too young.
No.
But there was like a YouTube documentary called Loose Change that was all about 9/11 being an inside job, and people would share it like earnestly, and they'd be like, here you go. And yeah, that was the start of like going, okay, like
maybe we don't take these things to that extreme.
Well, it's like it would, and it was also like the first thing of like, okay, we have now very prominent conspiracy theories about things that just happened. Like there are families that are still mourning the lives of their loved ones, and you're
and
making
to make this like, it's not necessarily that they were making it into a joke so much as like it was like making it almost unserious. Like I'm sure that there was people that like genuinely believe that for whatever reason, but like I think a lot of people that would share it not earnestly and would just be like, because there was like the whole meme that like the Bush did 9/11 thing. And
or the like
whatever can't melt
jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
And like that became a meme, not like something that people were taking seriously. Like they were doing it for like humor, and I think that's weird.
Yeah, especially like while like people are like burying their
yeah, no, it was
it's such a weird,
extremely in poor taste.
Yeah, whereas like when I was growing up in the 90s, joke, you know, you have like the end of the movie The Rock, and it's like, honey, you want to know who really shot JFK? Like that was like, we're at that point like 30 years removed from that, and it was this abstract idea the way it would be if the first time you heard anything about like 9/11 was like 10 years from now or something.
Yeah.
This is very weird. How the world moves and continues to operate. I'm now in a spot where it's like, I don't know, I got yelled at yesterday. The guy came and he was doing door-to-door sales, and he wanted me to join some sort of like lobbying group for small businesses.
And Jeff doesn't support small businesses. Jeff is vehemently against small business.
It was so weird. So, like, I wasn't going to say yes to him regardless of what he was pitching because we just don't have money right now. to be going out on stuff like that. We have to focus on what's
Yeah,
important.
we just got our finances in order. We can't just choo.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's the
Like
sound of
let's
money going away, I
Pachoo is
guess.
the sound of
That's the sound that plays every time I buy something.
Pachoo.
Yep. That's why I buy so many things, because it's such a nice sound.
And he had this big, like, he started pitching at me hard, and it was like that one thing where it's like, man, I just want to eat my lunch. And we were so busy yesterday, and I just want to eat my sandwich. And he came in like the one of the few lulls, but it wasn't a lull because there was a customer there still. There's like this girl looking at manga, and the guy comes up and he's like, let me ask you. It's like one of those pitches where you're like answering questions, and then based on, and it's like multiple choice.
Oh
It's
God.
like based on the multiple choice things. Well, you said this was the most important to you, so let me tell you what we do. But dip. It's like, oh my god. So like I was already kind of just like frustrated. Um, and then it was like the whole thing was like you hate how like government tells you that you have to pay your employees money, right? There's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Buddy, I don't think you understand the position I'm in. I am the employee, and my fiance is the other employee, so I do kind of like taking care of my employees. Yeah.
But also, like, even when I had employees, part of my financial situation is that I kept paying them when I probably shouldn't have, and I paid them more than I probably should have.
Pay them more than you pay me now.
Yeah, it was.
Will you hand me those gummy worms, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
but like, it's like I'm not the guy to come in and pitch on just like, hey, don't you hate that? I think so. What they are is a lobbying group, so that like when the government says things like, hey, you have to give employees X amount of hours a week, they like vote on it as a group to be like, no, this is an important thing for us to try to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they lobby senators and stuff to like make the laws so that that's not that way. So I politely declined like twice. And the third time that I politely declined, I made the mistake of like making a joke of like, oh, you probably don't want one silly liberal messing up your votes and stuff anyways, because like it would be really weird if I was paying into an organization and everyone was like, let's vote down this new healthcare law, and then I'm like the one dissenting vote of just like, what if we gave everybody healthcare? Like that would be silly. You don't want me in the mix anyways. You probably want my money, but like whatever. And then he was like, well, uh most business owners I talk to are conservative, or at least they're conservative with their money. And I'm like, well, I'm actually, pretty liberal, and the time our store did the best was when all of my customers, for probably the first time in their life, really didn't have to worry about taking care of their bills. That stuff was all like figured out, and they were able to like relax and like buy fun things like comic books and stuff that actually did really well for me. And then he immediately is like, worrying about your bills, when in life shouldn't you have to worry about your bills? And like I was just like, but he's like,
You
that's
don't.
not how it's ever been. And he just kept elevating and just like yelling. And this poor like 18-year-old, 19-year-old girl was standing there like
there was
looking at
another
manga.
person in there.
Yeah, I gave her a bunch of free shit. I felt so bad because he's just like going full like unhinged,
Conservative.
not even conservative. Yes, because it's like most Republicans I interact with in the shop, like traditional Republican people, like will hit like a real like agree to disagree.
Yeah, but
Friendly.
isn't it like conservatives are different than Republicans?
I would say he was more the flavor of like what used to be like the crazy libertarian, like the but like is now conservative Republican
Oh, I
Trumper
suppose that makes
person.
sense.
Like it's like, oh, you want the government to tell you what you can do with your money, like, and he just kept elevating. And
It's like,
he would ask me a question, and then I would answer it. Then he'd get angry at the answer, and then he would like get angrier and ask me more questions. And it was just we were stuck in this cycle where I was like, buddy, like, what do you
want?
you're
I'm
trying
not giving you money, so like, what
you're
do you
trying to
want?
sell me stuff.
He's not. I think at that point, like, he just wanted to fight with somebody.
Right, but he was acting like I wanted to fight with him. I didn't even want to hear his sales pitch. And like his sales pitch buddy left. Like all of a sudden I looked and he was gone.
I would if somebody that I was going door to door selling things with start and even I'm talking even on the other side. Like once you start getting like aggressive about it, I don't want to be. I don't know you. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like there's just no need for that at all.
No, it was crazy. And it was just like he kept getting louder and angrier. And then like he caught himself several minutes in. And then it was just like a complete. And he's like, I do like your shirt though.
What is that?
I was wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt. And I was like, okay. And he was like, good luck. Hopefully you can use this in the future. Shook my hand and left. And I was like, okay then.
He was possessed by like the ghost of Republican past or something, and then it fucking left his body, and he was like, "Okay, have a nice day." That's weird.
Sam said, is or at least conservative with their money, the polite way of saying greedy. Kinda, yeah. Well, it's like there's a way to do salesy stuff in either direction, and you don't. Like I'm good at sales, and there's a way to just kind of like play to either side that's also not entirely disingenuous. Like you don't make it about you, you make it about them and what they think and believe and everything else. Like there's an easy way. Like
Did he think that like by yelling at you, you were gonna somehow agree with him?
I don't know, but his job actually in that situation to be like is be like, you know what, buddy? Like, yeah, you disagree with us. That's why we need you. We need your vote. Because, like, then he's like, bringing your voice isn't represented well in this. And maybe you don't want to vote on these things, but we need your vote as a small business member so we can advocate on this. Like that's what you do to then get my money, which is your job doing door to door sales. Like,
maybe that's not his job. Maybe he just stole the uniform from someone. And that's
oh, good morning, Cheeky. He says, this guy seems fun at parties.
I'm never there when crazy people show up, and I just...
That is not true.
What?
Because when that lady showed up with her kids and was
ready
to make me her next meal ticket, you were...
That lady thought that I was your child. Okay, so that doesn't count.
No, I'm saying she was indeed crazy, though.
Well, yes, but like, I wish I wasn't there for that, is what I'm saying. Like, that was such an awkward experience because I could tell that she was hitting on you, and that's kind of always awkward and uncomfortable because, like, I'm not gonna, like, rush behind the counter and just be like, no, he's mine.
Stick your tongue down my throat.
Like, that's insane behavior. And so, like, I was just sitting there, like, doing...
What happened, officer? She ran around the counter and peed on him. This is so weird.
That's awful. Oh my god. No, but, like, you can't do things like that. You can't even... That's, like, so far. But I'm not gonna, like, make a weird big deal out of it. Like, it's just a person coming in, like, with their kids to buy comic books that just so happens to, like, hit on you. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm sitting there, and she's like, oh, how old are your kids? And then she just looks directly at me and, like...
I was like, this isn't one of them.
I don't think you even said that. I think you were just like, oh, I have a blah, blah, blah... blah blah, like, I don't know, you said ages probably, or like at least like a middle schooler, high schooler, and elementary school or something like that. She's just like, oh, my kids, blah blah. And then she went on this like long backstory about why she was in town and how her ex like did it, which like I felt really bad about because like that's really
Well, so
sad.
like for
And
context, we have a shelter right next to the comic shop. Basically, it's like a few doors down,
yeah,
and so like we get a lot of like, and sometimes we'll be like, here's some comics, and then we'll donate comics to the shelter and stuff too. Like it's a whole thing.
it's yeah.
But like because like often like women with their kids, and it's right, and they'll come over sometimes, and it's like it's usually whatever. This was someone who was like specifically, if the way it felt was, as soon as like she hit a wall with me, she was like, "There's got to be a man around here somewhere." She was just looking
She
for.
just wants another man. We all need guidance, I guess. But no, it was a really it's not even like people like that like that's just a situation that I don't want to be a part of. But like there was this there was somebody that came in before that you were telling me about that I wasn't there for, and I can't remember the context of what it was though. But I don't even think I would say anything if I was there. But like the tiny angry like liberal in me just wants to be like say some zinger at them. But
Usually, it used to be a lot of just like, be like, can you believe that uh what the fuck, I can't even think of his name now. Sam Jackson's character in the Avengers movies.
wow, I can't remember his name either.
Oh my gosh.
I feel terrible. I'm bad at my job.
The mold.
It's okay.
Uh,
I mean,
Nick
probably.
Fury, thank you. People would come in and be like, "Can you believe Nick Fury's black now?" I mean, that's fine, but like the comic books, you'd get a lot of that stuff. Would be the crazy conversations that would occur. Um, and in on some level, I somewhat get it if you grew up in like, for that was your childhood, was reading Nick Fury comics, and then you were collecting Nick Fury comics your whole life. And
I'm not
then,
that.
but it's Samuel L. Jackson. Like, can you? I'm not sure you can pick a better guy to play as Nick Fury. Like, what are you talking about?
It's just they never come across as people who are genuinely angry about things that they should be genuinely angry about. They come across as people who want to complain about,
The I'm not racist, but
yeah, that
stuff.
kind of stuff. And I'm just like, dude, just stop.
And we don't get as much of that anymore. And now it's just like you'll get like the really weird takes.
Really weird take.
Like the guy who came in and started talking to me about movies, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can talk about movies. And then he started talking to me about Mad Max Fury Road, and like how like he thought the bad guys were really the good guys of that movie.
Huh? What?
Yeah, the guy with all the slave wives. He was like, well, that guy was just giving everyone water and taking care of everybody.
Oh,
And
you
like,
severely missed the point of that movie. Okay. That's
I was like, what are we talking about here? It's just my eyes are getting wider and wider as I'm hearing this take, and I'm just like, uh-huh. And usually I'm pretty good about hearing something and like subtly poking at it, but like when I'm given that, I have no.
yeah, I would just be like, okay, I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
She said media literacy is dead. It truly is. It was bad.
It sounds like it.
But hey, we've got news. We have a whole segment for it.
Do we have news? Are you sure?
We like to call it the Daily Quack. Shiki says, but the bad guys, they're the good guys. Don't you know? The bad guys. Electronic Arts cancels Black Panther game and closes the studio making it.
I'm angry.
This is, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know there's a Black Panther game. Andy Chalk.
So I don't understand why. Why did they do this? Do they not have enough money? I fucking my kids just wanted that new. It's not new. It's like older expansion, but still expansion for The Sims 4. The pets, the cats, and the dogs, and like. So I just gave them money, like literally not more than 3 days ago. What did they do with that $20?
More than that, because you went in the garden thing.
Oh yeah, I bought the garden thing too. What did they do with that $25? I'm sure I wasn't the only one who took advantage of that sale.
To have a garden and some pets in The Sims.
There was other sale items, but yes.
Yeah. This is from Andy Chalk at PC Gamer, who says the bloodletting continues at Electronic Arts, which is confirmed. An IGN report that the Black Panther game announced in 2023 has been canceled. Developer Cliffhanger Games is being closed as a result of the cancellation. And separately, EA is making other layoffs across some of its other teams, although the number of people put out of work is unknown. The cancellation of the Black Panther game was relayed to employees in an email sent by EA Entertainment and Technology President Laura Meal. According to the report, Meal said in the email that the decision to halt the project and shutter the studio was necessary to sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. I'm going to just start vomiting whenever I have to read corporate speak on the show. I'm just going to full-scale vomit.
That's fine.
There's like, in order for synergy to blah, 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 I'm just going to be
I understand. You sound like the cats when they hawk up a hairball. Okay.
Shiki says obligatory fuck EA. Sam says fuck EA, to be honest.
Oh.
Sam says I'm tired of these companies killing projects for profit. To which Shiki says disgusting. Sam said EA in English. Give us money. Give us more money. Money, please. That means Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. Meal said although EA will continue to work on the Iron Man game announced in 2022, the new Star Wars Jedi game in development, and the next Mass Effect game. These decisions are hard, Meal wrote in an email. They affect people we've worked with, learned from, and shared real moments with. We're doing everything we can to support them, including finding opportunities within EA where we've had success helping people land new roles.
I'm not laughing at what you said. I'm laughing at the sounds that you're making.
Oh. Sam says I hope EA shuts down. The end of the Black Panther game and shutdown of Cliffhanger, which again was founded less than 2 years ago, comes less than a month after EA laid off between 300 and 400 employees and canceled 2 incubation projects that happened just 3 months after the company made significant cuts to BioWare, including the failure of Dragon Age the Veilguard to meet sales projections.
Does anybody remember me taking my meds?
Yes, I remember you getting them.
I don't know that I feel like I did it when we were streaming.
Okay.
And maybe I'll wait until after we're done and then
you
we
watch
can
the VOD.
Yeah, no, seriously, we can. And then I just don't want to, well, you know, it's fine cuz like I've been dragging lately anyway. So like if I take an extra one, it's not going to murder me. I always get so scared though. This one time I took too many Focalin on accident, and by too many I mean literally just an extra Focalin, and like I was playing that crab shooter game.
A crab shooter game.
You know, it's like when you're a crab and
I don't know when I'm a crab. When am I a crab?
No, you're a crab. It's a game where you're a crab and you have a gun and you I don't know, shoot other crabs or something.
How do I pull the trigger?
I don't remember. But I was playing with my friend Doug and I just remember being like, Doug, I am like freaking out right now. He's like, why? I'm like, I think I took too many Focalin. I can like feel my blood. like my blood vessels constricting. And he's like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, no, I think this game is stressing me out too. Because he was like,
Because how do you pull the trigger?
no, it's a battle royale type. Like,
Sam says, I hope EA shuts down whenever society crumbles and starts over. Mass layoffs need to be made illegal. If you try to fire entire studios, you should be stripped of a business license. That shit ruins people's lives. You don't have to give raises or pay benefits if you constantly reset your employees. It's such a shitty tactic to maximize profits. Yeah, it's bullshit. I also just think that it's like we're in this weird stage where it's like, you know how movies used to be like the studio system and like people would just like work for Paramount and then they would be in every Paramount movie, or MGM and they'd be in every MGM movie, or that's where they would write or that's where they would do stuff. And then now it doesn't work that way. Everyone's more of these free agents that like do everything, but there's this whole structure around it to take care of actors and writers and stuff in between projects, with these strong unions. And it's just, that's what we need to shift to. It is just very, very strong, robust unions for games developers.
my mom, I know this is really random, sorry. Actually, I'll wait. Keep saying what you're saying.
No, you go ahead.
No, it's like really random, like.
That's fine. I was finished with my thought anyway.
No, like, has absolutely nothing to do
That's
with
fine.
what you're saying.
I just finished my thought.
My mom asked me this morning, she texted me, and she was like, this is a tangent, by the way, so, like...
Okay.
And I'm acknowledging that, and, like, that's probably a sign that I didn't take my pill, of just, like... I was listening to every word you were saying, I swear, and then my brain just, like, I felt it, like, shift, and then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this thing earlier.
Okay.
And then the words were tumbling out of my mouth before I could even stop them. It's nothing bad. She was just asking if we were getting married this year or not. And being like, because I think she wants to give me like a wedding dress or something, or like her old wedding dress.
Okay.
Which I would be very excited for because it's the 70s. Or it's from the 70s.
It's the 70s.
It's the 70s. So I guess my point of saying that was remind me to call her and talk to her about our plans later.
Okay.
That could have been a completely separate conversation that I could have said later, but I was so A, didn't have a filter, B, thought I was going to forget, and then the cycle continues.
You're good.
So, sorry.
I don't know what you're sorry about. Shiggy says, it infuriates me because not only do they make these game plans and then fuck everyone over, but they also hold onto IPs that they never will make another game for. And then also refuse to license out or sell those IPs, like with American McGee's Alice. I legit will never forgive them for killing his desire to make a third installment. He tried so hard, and they decided it won't make enough money, and instead of selling him his IP back, they said they're keeping it. Yeah, that's all frustrating. And then Sam said, so is the wedding this year? We don't know. We'll figure it out. There's like there's reasons why we should do it this year, and they're all like
not
gross.
Romantic in the slightest. It's all tax related.
Yeah.
But like,
it's all tax and money. Like, we lost money by not getting married last year.
Well, I think we planned on getting married sooner than this, but then like life happened, and that's the rough thing. Is like, I think my mom is just, well, not my mom, but like I think some people are just like, are they ever gonna get married? And then they're like seeing that like there's probably thinking that like it's gonna be one of those like they're just engaged forever and they never get married thing. But I don't think that's the case at all. I just think some people think that. Specifically like older people in my family, because it's like a very like generational thing.
I think we feel like we basically are married, and we want to wait till we can do the party event that we want to do with it.
We're like legally married, right? Isn't it 5 years? Or not? Oh my god, not legally. There's a word for it where if you're together for like 5 years, living together. Well, we haven't been living together for 5 years. Never mind. But something like there's like a clause. It's not like legit, like you're legitimately married if you've been together that long, but like some people recognize it.
Yeah, I forget what.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, we might go quietly get married this year just to like
I
make
ain't
the
gonna
money
be quiet
work.
about it.
And then
Like,
do a big
I'm at the
party
courthouse
later.
right now.
Oh, Shiki says common law marriage is recognized and
Yeah,
not
common
recognized.
law.
Okay.
That's where I got legal from, but then I was like, that's not the right
Yeah.
word verbiage.
We'll figure it out. We've just been so poor. It's been a bummer.
I don't even know that. Well, yeah, that, but like, it's also just time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are really bad at time management, and by we, I mostly mean me, but
I'm also bad at time management.
Yes,
So.
but like you're better than me. I'm like I'm like a small short version of you from however long ago that wasn't good at time management.
It's
You've
like
gotten way better.
I've gotten better, and
but
yeah. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. And also, it just has to make sense to us and doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. So
that's true too. I just get really anxious because I don't like making decisions, and like this isn't me saying like, oh, I'll get married to you because I'm making a decision. It's mostly just the like decisions that come with like
where's
the wedding
where's
and
the
like,
venue? What's the
yeah,
style? What's the colors? What's the
and like I want to like pick people to be my bridesmaids and like, but then I don't want people to feel bad and
oh
then
my gosh, I've done one wedding and it's like everyone's always mad. It's
I'm
my
about to just be like, no one, every one of my friends, you all get to be in my wedding, wear the cool dresses and like stand with me, but like nobody is a bridesmaid.
not a one.
Nope. But no, like I don't know. It's just so many decisions.
It's so much.
We'll cut a cake. I'd probably try to bake my own damn cake for my wedding, and that's not what I want to do.
Well, I will shut that down. Okay. And I will. Do you know why I will shut that down?
Because it's stressful.
Yeah, and you will be like, why did I think I could bake a cake? Everyone's gonna be so mad.
Everyone's gonna be so mad at me on my wedding day. They're gonna be screaming at me about the cake. They wouldn't, but
Sam said, "Rest in peace, my bridesmaid dreams."
Everyone could be a bridesmaid.
All right. FromSoft leans into new metal vibes and goes full Evanescence with Elden Ring Night Ring launch trailer.
Ooh, hold on. Let me put my iPad away. Shh, hold on. Ah, my pen. I've been drawing a lot, and I can't stop.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but like, I felt bad the other day because it was like a repeat of. I had this problem a lot as a kid where I would get so into an activity that was just like a solo activity, and like no one else could really like be I guess like I could like be like, I'm drawing this, look at what I'm drawing, or like, what color do you think this should be? But like, it's usually a solo activity, and so I'm so sucked into it. And you were like talking to me about something, and I just kept being like, okay, yeah.
That's fine. I think it might have been when we were driving, and I was like, I need you to either talk to me or let me put on a podcast. Because I would like talk to you, and then you'd be like, and then I'd turn on a podcast, and you'd be like, can we listen to music? Like, can you talk to me? I'm driving.
Oh no, that was when we were driving home from Dumplings, and I wasn't using my iPad, but I was like falling the fuck asleep because we were listening to a podcast, and I was like, I don't want to fall asleep right now. Please,
guys,
turn
we
on
found
music.
The best dumpling place.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And
it's like 40 to 50 minutes away from where we live.
It's right next to where the kid's gonna go to college, so we're gonna be like, "Hey,
you want to go get some dumplings?"
And they'll be like, "I don't know, I'm not feeling it." So you said yes, right?
We'll be there. We'll meet you there.
Dumplings were very good.
Yeah, dumplings are so good. We were having a rough day yesterday, just with like stuff, and all I wanted to do
was go get those dumplings.
Literally, like every adult bone in my body was just like No, just blow off the comic auction. Literally, like it's fine. You're
The
better.
thing that makes us all the
Yeah,
money
you're
that we had been building up to for like a week because we just
yeah.
bought a big new collection
You're
too.
better with money now. It's fine. It's fine. You're in a better situation, so like just blow it off and go and get those dumplings. I was so ready to do that, but I held back.
They're very good. Very
Do you think they would DoorDash
good.
the
No.
dumplings here to my house?
All right. It's called the Bring Me to Life trailer.
Like legitimately?
I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh?
Copyright. You gotta talk over it. Can't just have evanescence without us talking.
Why?
Because then Twitch gets all angry.
I think you're allowed to have like 20 seconds of it.
Sam says, "Well, this is gonna get muted." She keeps taking care of it. From software.
You could probably yeah, just like turn it down.
Turn it down.
Yeah. Fine. Fine. What if you slow it down? Does that
I don't
play
know.
it at like ×2 speed?
How do I play it at ×2 speed? I know there's a way to do that. I might have to be on YouTube proper to do it.
I thought that cool sound was my stomach, and I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, I was panicking very briefly because I was like, I don't feel my stomach. Oh my god. This is so chaotic. like just imagine coming into the stream right now. Okay. Ooh. Crying.
Beautiful.
So, if you did that, I think this is playing. Like I think they hit the alerts before, and it's just going through now.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That's my favorite thing is when you like give me the floor and then you're like, I'm sorry, take it back.
yeah, take the floor back. I don't need it right now. I'm choking.
Are those good?
What?
The drink in your hand.
Oh, I thought you were asking if the gummy worms were good. And I
No,
was like, what the hell?
the watermelon.
You and our kid didn't like them at all,
No.
but I actually fuck with these.
Okay, I'm glad. Yeah.
And it's like they're water technically.
They weren't that expensive. I was just like, I freaked the kid out because like our youngest has anxiety, and she was like, I really want to try these, and I was like, well, are you gonna like drink? I was like trying to like make sure they were gonna get drank by somebody, and then I forgot that I can't ask questions like that of a kid with anxiety because then she switched very quickly to like, I don't need to give them. I'm sorry. Like I'm like, no, I'm just trying.
Yeah. It's rough.
You're allowed to want things.
I still have those moments as an adult where it's like you're just literally asking.
Oh, when we crashed out over over a calzone.
That was not funny, but like looking back, it was funny because I was just. So we have a child in this home that is currently failing a lot of things, and we're just and doing things they're not supposed to be doing, and it's like we're trying really hard to like steer them in the right direction, and so part of that is we've been very careful to not like we've been trying to kind of like shape our lives around that, and we were getting calzones, like the little ones that the refrigerated ones that you can pop in like an air fryer and oven or whatever. for dinner for Wednesday night because we do the comic show on Wednesday night. So it'd be like a quick like okay, everybody can eat and like
And everybody likes it. And I always like lose my mind over buying the calzones anyways because it's like everyone likes them. They're not expensive, but they're not also the cheapest things in the world.
and they also
either.
go bad really fast.
And they go bad
like
really
you've
fast.
got like a 4-day shelf life.
So it's like this is not the first family fight over calzones
It's
because often it'll be like, okay, this is my calzone, and then people will be watching it go bad in the fridge. So that it could be that one person's calzone, and then it's like it's going bad, and then it has to be thrown out, and then the person's like, "I would have eaten that."
Yeah, sometimes mostly that's me. It's happened in the shoe's been on other people's feet before, but sometimes mostly it's me because I forget that things are in the fridge. But maybe you're getting calzones and like
Which Shiki said, I hear Jeff Porley singing relationship advice, but I hear this now. And Lena telling him it was a cop. I forgot I did that. Relationship advice. Relationship advice.
what?
Relationship advice. I said that.
Oh, okay. It clicked after a second. Sorry.
So we always have fights over the calzone. And lately I was like, Wednesday night calzones, good solution because like we're getting it for a particular meal.
Yes.
Everybody gets one.
And my dumbass thought,
And then there's no fighting because
cool.
everyone gets one and they're eaten that night. And so there's no leftover calzones.
And my dumbass, and this, I didn't even think of all of the things prior. I was just like, ooh, I could get another calzone for the weekend too. And like, I'll eat it on the weekend because I want to have a quick dinner. And I'm like, is this going to cause any problems? And you're like, actually, yes. And I was like,
I've orchestrated this so that suddenly I had a calzone solution that no one was going to fight over calzones.
a calzone.
And you didn't say like, hey, is it
solution.
okay if I grab a second calzone just for me for the weekend? You
I
said
didn't think I
said
had
very
to.
specifically, will this cause any problems or complicate things? And I said, yes, it will. And then
like,
you
why?
heard, and then you heard that, and then you asked why. It was another version of the dude trying to sell me things because you kept asking me questions and then kept getting mad at my answers.
Yeah, because I didn't understand them. I didn't understand why I couldn't have an extra calzone. I needed you to break it down for me.
But when I did, you didn't like my answers.
No, because the first couple of answers were just like, you know how sometimes when kids ask why and you're like, because I said so. It was
That's not what I said,
no,
though.
No. I know that's not what you said, but it had that energy about it of like, we're not discussing this right now. And then I like was just like, well, then I'll just go back or you said I'll just come back on Friday, and I was like, we're not gonna come back on Friday because we're so bad at that. Just like coming back to a story for something, then I just forget about it.
Yeah.
So I guess in the end it's fine, but it was just so it was so confusing to my brain at the time. And then I was like, okay, like I clearly this conversation has like deeply disrupted this activity. So I tried to like go into like another like conversation about sandwiches or something. Like I tried to segue. And you were just so mad at that point.
I was so mad because I had finally figured out a way that this family wouldn't fight about calzones, and I had put a moratorium on buying them for so long because I was just like, I'm so sick of these calzone fights.
Just tell people
because what would happen is Lena would buy one for her, and then she would never eat it, and it would go bad, and then the teenager would be like, I fucking want that calzone, and it would turn into a fight every time. And I'm kind of on the teenager side because we're throwing food away every time.
No. Well, and then it got to the point too where I would be eating a calzone, and they'd be like, that calzone looks really good. So I think in my head I was like, I can't eat my calzone around them.
So then I was like, we're done buying calzones. House rule, we're done buying calzones. No calzones for anyone. And everyone
It was. It was uncomfortable.
And then
It was a calzone-less existence.
and then everyone was mad at me, but there's no fights about calzones. And then it was like like the weekend before the weekend the kids got there, and we were going through the grocery store and we went by the calzones, and Selena was like, "Can I get one?" And I said, "I guess, but like as long as you eat it before
And
the
I
kids."
did.
You did not.
The last time we got one, yes, I did.
No. This was like what brought calzones back into the house. Because I was
No.
like, I said...
That might have been a separate occasion.
Yeah,
then.
I'm talking months ago.
Okay, yeah,
This
no,
is
I was
like-
gonna say, every time recently I've gotten a calzone, I've made sure to eat it, like, literally the next day, because I'm, like, having a panic attack. Once that calzone enters the fridge, I hear you in my head yelling about calzones, and I just, like, I'm like, that's the ticking time bomb that I need.
I looked you straight in the face and I was like, will you eat that before the kids get there? And you said, yes, of course. And then the kids got back and they were like, whose calzone is this? And I was like, ah! Can we eat it?
God.
I have to tell you, no, it's for Selena. She never eats them!
But I do. In my own damn time. I shouldn't have to eat this calzone on my Google Calendar, bro. That's such a stressful existence. That's so...
Kesha says I need a calzone, cooking one from Aldi right now. Those are the ones we're discussing.
They're
Yep.
so freaking good, and like they're like a comfort food for me, but it's become like a not comfort thing now because like I don't know, it's just so stressful because it's not only that like I could understand if it was like every single time I didn't eat it and like then it was just this constant of throwing away, but like I said, I would like eat everybody else would eat theirs and I would save mine for like a special night and I would go to sit down on my couch and watch a TV show or something and they would just come in, specifically the teenager, and be like, that calzone looks really good. And I'm just like, bro. So I would end up like giving away half of my calzone because I can't say no. So I'm sitting there with like half a calzone. It's all cold now. So yeah, maybe calzones are just not a thing we can have in this house, apparently.
I thought I had a pretty elegant solution of like Wednesday night calzone night. That way everyone gets their portion out calzone.
My silly little, like, I forgot that this was even like a fight in the first place because it had been so long. I was just like, oh, I'll get another calzone. And you're like getting like PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, it's like that meme of the grandpa with like the helicopters.
Yeah, no, literally.
You're like, would this cause a problem? And I'm like, ah!
Yeah. No,
Because that's the thing, is like, I don't have a horse in this race at all.
no,
but
you don't even like calzones.
they're fine. Like, I don't dislike them, but like, it's just...
You say that about every food. I don't think you get like the like safe food thing because you're very much just like, feed me kibble, I don't care. But like the rest of us are very specific about our food.
I was the youngest in a house of 5 people. There was no like
and
safe
I was
food.
an only child. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, GameStop just bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin.
Okay.
This is from our friend Zach Sweezen.
Oh, thank God. Does anybody know, real quick before we get into this, does anybody know if if chipmunks can climb trees? That may seem random to everyone else in the chat and you, but I just looked out the window and
the case is kind of scratched.
it's been scratched.
I'm sorry.
It got broken in the car, I think, or something. Someone stepped on it. I don't know, bro.
Sam says yes, they can, Lena.
Okay, thank you. I just needed to know that.
Shiki said, I think as of right now, I've heard the word calzone twice as many times as I've heard it in 34 years, and I grew up in upstate New York where everyone was obsessed with them. Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
It has been...
I'm gonna get my greenhouse, and I'm gonna put a little fridge in my greenhouse. I'm just gonna fucking fill it with calzones, and I'm gonna put a lock.
That are going back.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a lock on
They
my
have such a short shelf life. It's
I'm gonna
like,
use it as, can you use...
well, because the other angle of this is that the two main warring parties of the calzone wars of 2024 and 2025
Oh my god.
are also the quickest of like, I think this is bad, I can't eat it. Like,
Oh my god, that's so true. I didn't even consider that. Oh my god. And we're also the same.
whereas I'm the one of like, I'll be like making perfectly good meat, like fine, and then like one of the two of them will come in and be like, I don't know, is that a thing? And I'm like, it's fine. And then I just read their face and I'll throw out everything I'm making. And they'll be like, why? What are you doing? And like, you're not going to eat it. I know enough now to
I'm
know that
sorry.
like whatever thing is wormed into your brain is not going to let you eat and enjoy this, even though it's perfectly fine. There's nothing I can say to tell you is perfectly fine.
Oh my god. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't want to get food poisoning. I'm like deathly afraid of that.
He said Lena's gonna die from calzone poisoning in her greenhouse.
Yeah, it's true.
Sam said, "Hey, I'm calzoning here." Biblically accurate New Yorker.
Uh,
The last time I was in New York, I made a video about just being like, "No one's saying I'm walking here," and like it was one of my weirdly more viral things because of the simultaneous laughter from people from the Midwest and then just anger from anyone who had spent 5 minutes living in New York was just like, ugh, I'm so sick of that. Guys, it was a joke.
you didn't take me to New York.
I didn't. We had like just started getting kind of serious.
Perfect time to take someone to a trip to New York when you just start getting serious with them.
I did like call you like every
You
night.
did. It's okay. I'm just jealous because now that I know how good dumplings are, and you guys went to that dumpling place,
Oh, that dumpling place in New York was
my
good.
brain is just like,
That dumpling place, that ramen place.
I didn't know what I was like missing out on until I tried dumplings on Monday. Yeah, Monday, and now
Yeah.
I'm just like building it up in my head. We should make our own calzones.
Okay.
Like from scratch. That will solve the like them going bad because if we know how to make them from scratch, like fresh,
Yeah.
and we're making them fresh. Oh my god, I just cracked the code.
Vicky says, listen, it's just as bad as OMG, you live in New York? I've never been to the city. Girl, same. Yeah. Yeah, GameStop just bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin. To which Sam said, with what money? I thought GameStop was super in the red year to year. And then Shiki said, it's from when they buy things for $0.0003 and sell it for $30. That was their whole model, which kind of went out. Now they don't do that anymore. Now they sell socks and shirts and other such nonsense. Video game retailer and Funko Pop depository GameStop has announced that it has purchased over 4,500 Bitcoin. This, by the way, Zach Sweezen over at Kotaku. It's estimated that the company spent at least $500 million on the cryptocurrency transaction. GameStop stock dropped as a result of the news. On Wednesday, the retailer announced in a brief one-sentence press release that the company had purchased 4,710 Bitcoin. It posted the news on social media and received thousands of replies and shares, most people reacting with confusion and bemusement. GameStop didn't disclose how much it spent on Bitcoin, but some napkin math done by investors.com estimates that it's likely spent about 515,700,000 on the popular cryptocurrency, over $500 million. Earlier this year, the slowly dying GameStop, mostly propped up at this point by its pandemic-era meme stock windfall, announced that it was going to invest $1.3 billion into cryptocurrency. It announced this plan as it closed more stores and further pivot away from selling video games. GameStop today announced that its board has unanimously approved an update to its investment policy to add Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. The company wrote in a press release published on March 25th, "We've not set a maximum amount of Bitcoin we may accumulate and may sell any Bitcoin we may acquire," it explained, filing up the SEC filing. Um, she said, "Now is the time for Bitcoin to plummet. Please let it happen." So like the weird, you said what money, Sam? I can tell you exactly what money. There's a weird thing with business accounting that only doesn't come into play as much with a small business, because people don't always run things 100% the way they're supposed to, but does become a thing once you're like a big giant publicly traded company and you have to run things 100% the way you're supposed to because you're a publicly traded company, right? And your books are basically public.
That.
A spam call from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, I just heard your phone be like burr 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 burr.
And so if I go in and I pre-order a video game and then I never pick up that video game, that's not your money. But if you never, and they only require $5 down, right, to pre-order video games. And so quite often over the course of the how many years that GameStop was in business and all the years that it was like in booming business, people would come in and be like, "Oh yeah, I definitely want Modern Warfare 17 or whatever game was coming out at that point. Like, yeah, I'll go ahead and pre-order it for $5, especially because they coached all their employees to do that, right? So they get the $5, they take $5, it's a pre-order, and then Modern Warfare 3, by the time the game comes out, maybe the person forgot, maybe someone else gifts the person the game, maybe like they decide like, oh, I don't really want to go pay the other $55 for that game, right? But that pre-order money is still sitting there. Sometimes more than $5. Sometimes people pre-order whole consoles and then never pick them up, and the deposit was a bigger amount of money, but they can't pay the big amount by the time it comes out. Sometimes people pre-order things and then they die. That's a thing that happens. And you start doing that math over and over and over. GameStop has more cash reserves than the average business because they have to take in so many like things over the years that they're not allowed to touch. And then they are, I believe, allowed to do things like this with it. They're allowed to invest with it. This is a really silly, shitty, weird investment. But it also seems kind of inevitable if you're on the like the Titanic that is GameStop right now, and you're like, what do we do? You have all these cash reserves you're legally not allowed to touch, but you're illegally allowed to do bullshit like this with it. I think this makes sense. As silly as it is, I think this wraps back around to making sense because it'll do one or two things. Either it'll be the final nail in the coffin, or it like weirdly gives the thing new legs. And if you're one of the weirdos left sitting on the board of this place, what the fuck else are you going to do at this point? It needs to die. You can't publicly like lead it towards it. It's your job to take care of this thing that needs to be brought back behind this shed and shot, right? Like, you're in charge of GameStop. What are you supposed to do at this point? Like, it's slowly dying. This is maybe the path towards a more merciful, quick death. Or it fails upwards again in some sort of like that they like, oh wow, we've actually made a bunch of money off of this Bitcoin. That's really silly. She says, well, I keep my fingers crossed for the former. Yeah, I think it just needs to be done.
I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
scared to put my headphones on here.
The company has once again accelerated store closures in an attempt to save its way to prosperity, and it plans to enter the trading card business and to invest in cryptocurrency are striking in their lack of specificity, said Wedbush analyst Michael Proctor in March. At this point, it's starting to look like the Switch 2 might be the last console launch at GameStop is around for, before it fully shifts into a Bitcoin company that just happens to sell Funko Pops and novelty t-shirts on the side. I do wonder how much money GameStop will make when it tries to sell some or all of its crypto at a later date. If justice exists in the universe, they'll be offered about $5 in store credit. That's the other thing too, is like gift cards. Gift cards are money you're legally not supposed to touch. Like when someone comes and buys a gift card at Rad Raptor Comics, I am legally supposed to park that money into a bank account. It can be the same bank account if like I'm doing finances in a way that like everything's broken up and budgeted and everything, right? But I'm supposed to legally park that money, and it is not actually fully realized until when that gift card is spent. Then I'm allowed to draw that money from the gift card money into the regular fund. But most mom and pop small businesses don't do that, right? They go like, "Oh God, money, thank God," and then they pay bills with it. But if you're a big giant company like GameStop, that's all money you're legally not allowed to touch. If you think about like all the gift cards that's part of what's made this like insanity that we're living through right now, is we have all these giant corporations and there's billions of dollars of unredeemed gift card money out there, because mom buys you a gift card for Christmas, you get it, you lose it. That money is like money that they're legally not allowed to touch, but they have other things they're allowed to do with it. And so that's part of all these businesses have like these huge cash reserves. It's weird. He said, I haven't been a fan of GameStop for many years, but the CEO blaming wokeness and DEI for their failures really threw me over an edge. Same. I don't think I'll ever forgive them for not like embracing retro gaming when they should have. Like they were poised to just like when everyone was making the switch to like, hey, the new consoles are going to be super digital. They could have just easily, and they had the infrastructure. We could be living in a world where like every GameStop was like full of like NES games and like Retron 5s and like all this stuff, and they would be a healthier company, and we would be a healthier gaming community in some ways, worse in some other ways, but like it would just be cool. They could have done that, and they instead have done the weird things that they've chosen to do. Sam says, I just like to see shit companies crumble under the unbearable weight of their greed and ignorance. But that's why I'm saying is they don't, because they have these cash reserves. But then what happens is like the Joann's Fabric situation of it all, where it's like an investment company comes in and buys them and then borrows against those cash reserves, and then they eventually implode. So, yeah, it's a bummer. What's not a bummer, though? Europe's most complete Stegosauran skull unearthed in Teruel, Spain. There he is, the Dacinotris armatus. Hey, dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Sorry, I was trying to see if there was a way for me to go back and check if I took my pill or not, but I don't think I did.
I don't, based on the events of this morning, I would say you probably did not. Sam said, I'm happy to watch GameStop die. Yeah. This is from Gabby Clark over at phys.org. It says, paleontologists from the Fundación Conjunto Paleontógico de Teruel Dinopolis have published new research in the journal of vertebrate zoology. The article describes a partial stegosaurian skull discovered in the municipality of Rio Deva, Teruel, Spain, and proposes a new hypothesis about the evolutionary history of plated dinosaurs. Stegosaurs were dinosaurs mainly characterized by being plant eaters, moving on all fours and displaying two rows of plates and or spines from the neck to the end of the tail. The specimen studied was recovered during the paleontological excavations led by that whole company that I'm not going to read all the Spanish again. Fossil site located in sediments of Villar del Arspazzipo Formation, dating to the late Jurassic epoch, around 150 million years ago. It is the best preserved stegosaurian skull ever found in Europe and has been identified as belonging to the species Dacentrur. Do you know how to say that? You're the dinosaur person.
The what now?
Dacentrurus.
I've never seen that word before, to be honest.
Okay. Dacentrurus. Dacentrurus. Something. There's a video. Maybe they say it. Or is it just like the spinning skull? I think it's just the spinning skull. Ooh. Okay. Sergio Venosa, a researcher at the Fundicandanopolis and co-author of the study, explains the detailed study of this exceptional fossil has allowed us to reveal previously unknown aspects of the anatomy. The quintessential European stegosaur, which in 2025 marks 150 years since its first description. Dinosaurian skulls are rarely preserved due to the extreme fragility of their bones. This discovery is key to understanding how stegosaur skulls evolved. Furthermore, alongside the anatomical study, we have proposed a new hypothesis that redefines the evolutionary relationships of stegosaurs worldwide. As a result of this work, we have formalized the definition of a new group called Neostegosauria. Here's an illustration of them. I'm guessing Selena will call that a baby.
It is a baby. Sorry. Every time I stretch, my sternum pops, like right here, this area, and it's been freaking me out lately. It's only happened like yesterday and today, and so I just had to quickly Google it because I was like, why is that happening? I have no answers still.
You're dying, obviously.
I'm not. It's just a really weird feeling because it's like I'm just stretching, and usually if I stretch, sometimes my back will like pop a little bit, but instead of my back popping, it's been like right here is like it's really strange. I don't know how to. It's apparently nothing like serious or bad according. Well, I mean, it could be, I guess, but normally it's just like arthritis or other things.
Hopefully you're okay.
I'm probably fine.
All those calzones are breaking you.
Yeah.
According to the researchers, this new group includes medium to large-sized stegosaurian species that all lived in what is now Africa and Europe during the Middle and Late Jurassic, in North America during the Late Jurassic, and in Asia during the Late Jurassic and Early Cretaceous. Alberto Cobos, managing director, adds the dual achievement, both the study of an exceptional fossil and the proposal of a new evolutionary hypothesis, positions this research as a global reference in stegosaurian studies. Maybe that's what we should do with our life. Stegosaurian studies.
I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah. Just be like, I just study stegosaurs.
I would deeply love that, actually.
There's a comic book artist from Michigan that we really like whose name is Ryan Stegman. And he figured out a way, because he's an artist, to turn his signature into a stegosaurus.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. It's my favorite signature, I think.
Sam says technically we're all dying. That is true. Let me see if I can find Ryan Stegman's signature for you guys. It's pretty great. Yeah. If you notice, that's his signature down in the corner. It's a little stegosaurus because he's Ryan Stegman. Pretty great. Also, he's one of the nicest dudes on the planet. And he had like a moment of fame a little stretch ago where like his stuff was like absurdly popular, and he is one of those dudes that did not change in the slightest. He was just still Ryan Stegman, just super nice guy. Um, yeah, that's his signature there in the corner there. Um, this was the books that he got really famous on, was on Donny Cates' run of Stegman of Venom. Uh, including this being the big book of them all, which is the first appearance of Null. It's a very big deal. And who Null is a Castlevania type looking villain, who is actually the god of all the symbiotes. And when I first met Sam, he was playing a game who had a different character named Null, not Knull, but every time anyone said Null, I was so confused because I was like, this guy? And that was not true. Tiki said, I love it. Sam said, I was looking at my notes confused. Like what was DCK that I played this year? It was Donkey Kong Country. I was just silly and messed up the note. Oh, DCK instead of DKC. Okay. Donkey Country Kong. Sam said, Noel being pronounced Noel is still bugs me. Yeah. Isn't he voiced by Jason Marsden too, or is that a different character? Because I remember just like in the early me hanging out in a Sam stream, me being like, I'm talking way too much about Jason Marsden. I'm sorry. And then Shiki being like, no, we do that here. Like, just falling down this rabbit hole of just like, oh my God. Thackeray, whatever his name is. Okay. Who did Jason Marsden voice? Oshiki, you would have been so happy. There was someone who came in and just got nothing but Buffy books the other day, and just was so ready to talk. No, he's the voice of Noel. It's Jason Marsden, but he's the voice of Noel in 13-2 and Lightning Returns 13. So maybe someone different voices Noel in the first one. There he is, our boy Maxwell Goof himself, Jason Marsden. He's best known for voicing Kovu in Lion King 2: Simba's Pride. Did you write this? How the fuck is Jason Marsden best known for Kovu?
I don't know.
I never even heard of Kovu before you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the actor name. I was saying the other famous character the actor did. Noel is not in 13. Okay. How have you never heard of Kovu? Sam said, or before Lena at least. Because the sequels were always like, it was like you don't watch those. That was like the thing. The way that people talk about the live action remakes of Disney movies now. And then they're going to be so thrown in 20, 30 years when kids that are just kids now are like, no, those are great. That's how everyone talked about all of the sequels, basically. Of all those Disney animated movies, and everyone's like, you don't watch those. They're all bad, and you just dismiss them all. She says, "Hello, yeah. Thackeray is the person who turned into a cat, and James voices the cat. Oh yeah, and yeah, in Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, I know because I had a crush on the guy who turns into a cat,
but not Jason Marsden until he turned into a lion.
Yeah, because it's a what? Listen.
Did you never watch Erie, Indiana?
Yeah, we actually did.
We didn't make it to the Jason Marsden episodes though.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't get. We watched like the first and second
No, we
episode.
watched more than that. I remember because you were like, "Oh my god, that's him."
No, this is him in Erie, Indiana, where he plays like the one dude who like knows all the creepy shit that's actually happening in the town. He's like the older kid that's like, you guys don't understand all the conspiracies. That shit was really good. If you've not watched Erie, Indiana, it's like Twin Peaks but for kids. It's very good.
I
Uh,
don't think it's on the same level as Twin Peaks or anything, but yeah.
I nor do I, but like when
You
I was
said it's like Twin Peaks for kids.
yeah.
You're putting it in the same category as Twin Peaks.
Because when I was like 10, I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But like when I
I'm
was
sorry, I will not stand for this because last night you dissed my Polly movie, and so we're not allowed to have nostalgic. It's a TV show. Yeah, TV show opinions.
uh Sam said Jeff being mad this listed Kovu was the same energy he had for that other piece that didn't use Lord of the Rings for what Elijah Wood was known for. Yeah. That's it. Well, the thing is, like, I fucking love Erie, Indiana, and I love Boy Meets World, but I I would have the same reaction if it was like Jason Marsden, best known for Erie, Indiana. I would be like, that's not what he's best known for.
Yeah.
Um,
And yes, Shiki, he did. He dissed Polly. So did like everyone in the chat. They were like, "Are you sure that's not a fever dream? I don't know what that movie is. I've never heard of
I
it."
think they were getting you back for never knowing. You didn't know who John Leguizamo was.
Well, I know who he is. I just didn't know his name. I know his face. I love that movie too. We're still going to Erie,
No,
Indiana.
I was trying to. I forget. I deleted the wrong thing. I was trying to go to see what the Wikipedia for Jason Marsden said. Um,
He has kind eyes.
he does. He's best known for his voice roles of Max Goof, Haku in Spirited Away. See, like this track's about Chester
He's Chester.
McBadat in Fairly Odd Parents, Matt Olson / Shygon in Witch. I don't know what that is. Chase Young in Zalin Showdown. Don't know what that is either. Richie Foley Gear in Static Shock. Know what that is, but it's weird that gets mentioned. So like yeah, this doesn't have any mention to Kovu in like his opening paragraph on Jason Marsden, and that feels
Does that feel better for you?
it does.
Okay.
I feel like it should be in here maybe because there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that probably shouldn't be here. Sam said Max Goof is Haiku is Chester. My mind is blown. That was so many roles. Yeah, he's in like everything. Also, I love it because I love this conversation because is Salem? I don't think he's. What is he Salem in? Not in Sabrina. You ever still talking about Noel? No, because this Salem voice actor is um actor. Yeah, it's Nick Bakay. This guy.
This guy.
Also Norbert Beaver on the Angry Beavers. There's so many iterations of Sabrina. I will give you that. There's a live action and the cartoon and a reboot. Okay. Yeah, I just think the Melissa Joan Hart one because I'm old. I love all the different roles he had as Salem in different shows because Salem would just appear on Boy Meets World. Yeah, this is a whole stretch. Lena, I have to tell you, this was a very big deal.
What?
So there is one night of TGIF where Salem went to every other show and fucked about and like magically changed things in the show.
I think I remember that. When did that happen?
Um, I don't know, when I was watching 1997.
Oh, never mind. I was 1. Maybe they did like reruns or something because I remember him being in other shows.
I was 10 and that was like appointment television for me that night. I was like, "Oh my god."
We have to be here for Salem.
Uh Shiki said, "Sorry, I have no idea why I'm calling him Salem. Binks." Sam said, "I mean, it's another talking black cat. It's understandable." Oh, you're talking about the Hocus Pocus cat. Okay. Is the Hocus Pocus cat Binks?
Yeah.
Okay. I was not allowed to watch things with witches growing up. I had to like sneak and watch Sabrina, and then every time it came up, it was like a huge fight in my house. And my dad would kick things and throw things around until my mom told me not to watch it. And then my mom finally, it was one of the few times my mom stood up to my dad. She was like, I just remember her being like, "Jeff, I watched it. It's fine. You need to stop." And so then I was allowed to watch Sabrina, but not tell anyone that I watched Sabrina.
Mm.
And I was not allowed to watch it while he was home, but I just went. But yeah, so I never watched Hocus Pocus growing up. That would have been a non-starter. Those kind of things. She said it's also in Salem, but yeah.
Wait, what is that? Oh, I got a sponsored thing. Apparently, now that I've like talked briefly about getting my GED and going to college, my phone heard me, and it's like, oh, here's some classes, including they're doing like a class around David Lynch's screenwriting.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I wanted waffle. Just give me the waffle.
He was an escape artist this morning. We had to go out to get it.
Yes. See, I conversed with the raccoon family that was in the.
Oh yeah, she went to run out into her favorite bush when she escapes, and then it was full of raccoons.
I was literally like, I was just sitting there like, Waffles, come on, and then I heard Waffles like the weird growly thing that the cats do, and then I heard a bunch of wrestling, and then she ran back into the front yard, and that's when I got her because
she was scared.
Okay. Hey, we just want to go for a little walk. Mama's gonna have to check you for ticks.
She says one of my all-time favorites. I love it so much. Yeah, it's on my list, but that's like one of my huge blind spots. When people are very into Hocus Pocus, I feel bad because I'm just like, I was not allowed to watch anything to do with witches. It was always a huge fight. Because the Bible does not like witchcraft. Sam says, "Wait." Okay.
What?
Did I watch something Jeff didn't? Probably. That's impressive. It doesn't happen often. Shiki says, "Oh, a scam call came through a bit ago. This is a confirmation for purchase of $999 for an iPhone number or whatever. I hung up immediately, but they will try to get you a refund by asking for your credit card number." There was so when I worked at the call center, which you get all types there. For me, that was a perfect job because it was like a job I worked and that I was like, I just want something to make some money that I will not feel bad when I have to quit immediately whenever I get stuff rolling at the comic shop, right? And that's what I did. I quit that place immediately, but there was a guy who worked there that we watched fall for those phone scams 3 separate times of like the full on like going and buying a gift card and giving them the gift card numbers.
My grandparents fell for one of those once, and like that was all it took. They were like, never again.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like it plagues on that anxiety that some people have of like it's not gonna get us because we're constantly like in the
My
throes of like
favorite
not
is
paying
the
for
recent
things.
one that's like, "Hey, you haven't paid your toll road things." And it's like, "I haven't left this state in like a year.
Well, it's
We
like
haven't traveled this year because we're not financially stable to travel. So why?"
it's so smart though because I actually had that situation where like one toll I rolled through the wrong thing and then I got a thing in the mail and I had
Yeah,
it
well, they send it to you in the mail. That's the difference. They're not going to frickin'
right.
text you.
Yeah, but I
But people would fall for that if they travel a lot and they just assume that everything is gone text instead, like paperless instead
yeah,
of.
so they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's icky. It's gross. Terrible.
Sam said I got in trouble for pointing our biblical witchcraft was people selling their soul to the devil, and fantasy witchcraft is different. Um, yeah, you can't bring nuance into things. What my favorite now is just like how things have fallen is like the all the people that were screaming at me for reading Harry Potter books are now the people that are like screaming about they should be allowed to read Harry Potter books. It's so just funny. Like the complete like there's no actual lines of conviction. It's just whatever our club is about.
Yeah. My mom started going to church again recently, and it's like I'm not against religion in that way, mostly, but like, and I think the routine could be good for her. But my grandma was just like, "Well, I'm just glad she's not doing her Wiccan stuff anymore," and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "That was just a phase." I'm like, "Grandma, she's a 40-year-old woman, like 40, almost 50-year-old woman. Like she's not a teenager. She's not going through a phase.
Also, who the fuck cares
Like
if
why
she's
do you
into
care?
Wicca?
Why do you care so much?" It's okay. She's just very busy. She likes to know what people are up to.
She said I'm constantly added to those text groups and it makes me laugh. Like, okay, buddy, I drive 15 minutes at the most and nowhere get nowhere near toll roads. It says I get calls about my doctor bills and car insurance, and I'm like, brother, I'm blind, too blind to drive, and I'm too broke to see a doctor. I'll patch myself up for free. Also, Sam beat the Bible on Sunday. He did.
Beat the Bible?
He beat the Bible.
What does that mean?
He played through Bible adventures and beat it.
Okay. I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. He beat the Bible. Um, it's Bible adventures, the cursed game for my youth, in which you pile things on your head a bunch because that's the Bible. You Noah's Ark, you pile up a bunch of animals on top of you and you jump around. Uh this is weirdly enough, Jesus wasn't in it. No, they didn't touch that, I don't think, in any of the games.
Hmm.
Trying to think. Yeah, because they're all like either Old Testament. They might all be Old Testament stuff. Um it was just there was a lot more of that at that time though too, because it's like, and it makes sense because you could the Old Testament stuff had a more canonized interpretation, I think, than the New Testament stuff, and so you could easily get butt hurt and have people fighting denominationally over if you're covering New Testament stuff. Okay. Hey, we have a YouTube channel. It looks like this. I've put a bunch of work into it. Please check it out. Also, I just posted the Whatnot link. Please check that out. If you click through and buy something using the 15 free dollars they give you, even if you buy for someone else, they give us $5. Um, Sam sent a clip,
I gotta get back to my baby, so I think I need to actually pick him up. I did
and
get
Lena's
it.
gone. She can't appreciate it.
So it is possible on this. Okay, hi. This is how we're getting to the end of this level. I hope that's okay with everyone.
I like how you had to explain the joke in the clip name.
This is exactly biblically accurate how Moses traveled.
You had to rename the clip? Oh, you're back. Sam sent you a clip to watch, and then you left.
Oh, sorry.
This is Sam not walking on water.
Baby. So I think I need to
Wait.
actually pick him up.
Hold on.
Why did you have to rename the clip?
I gotta get back to my baby. So I think I need to actually pick him up. I did it that time. Shit. Okay, so it is possible on this. Okay. Hi. This is how we're getting to the end of this level. I hope that's okay with everyone. Is Peachy Keen Jelly Bean? This is exactly biblically accurate how Moses traveled.
Oh, that's pretty hilarious. Okay. We're gonna wrap things up.
Are you ever gonna play through those games?
The Bible Adventure games?
Yeah.
PTSD is strong. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
that's fair.
They're not very fun either. They're pretty bad games.
Oh, that's valid.
And not like bad in a silly way, but it's bad. We have raid messages. They look like this.
Are we not gonna read the "Am I the asshole"?
That's Tuesdays.
Oh. Why were you looking at Reddit then this morning?
I check Reddit to check what, like, when you hit the search thing to make sure there's no, like...
Sorry, that fucking one story about the would I be the asshole if I threw away...
We can cover it on Tuesday if you want.
Great! No. I'm good.
Sam says it was real bad. Oh, Sam says Lena was so ready for this song.
I wasn't. I was gonna get up again, but I was kind of hoping the song would play during my time getting bug, but...
Oh, no. That's a Tuesday thing. Asshole.
I don't know what day it is. Clearly.
All right. Be honest, kind of be useful, live a good fucking life. We're gonna find someone to go say hi to. Boom, boom, boom. You're welcome for the stream. Let's go say hi to Naru, who's playing Kingsley Adventures, which looks fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We might be live tonight playing a game. We might not. We have to figure out around driver's training, and also we have to figure out if Selena's computer has survived.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in like the whole weeks that we, because I'm afraid.
So
can't handle it. Hi, Pancake.
All right. Be honest. Be kind. Be useful.